Hey guys, what is going on, and welcome back to Warship Gunner 2. I'm going to start this off by saying my throat is not doing great, and I may be sniffling and clearing my throat a couple times throughout the video. So I just wanted to get that out of the way. Anyways, today we're going to do something a little different. I've gotten a couple of comments on some of the other videos, and I love reading comments, so if you have any questions or anything, let me know. I do like reading comments, so I got some comments regarding designing ships, and I want to just go over those real quick. And the first one, well, I don't know if it was the first one, but one of them was regarding gas turbines. If we don't get to a mission today, I'm not too worried, because this is stuff that, you know, admittedly, I really just glossed over this kind of stuff, and did not like talk about why I design my ships the way I do, and it's definitely fair for people to ask me about that, considering I haven't really talked about it. So, one of the comments I got was about gas turbines and why I haven't been using them. So since I never really talked about them, I don't think I did anyways, gas turbines are basically boilers and turbines put into one piece. So rather than having two parts, you just have one part. And they're more narrow, but they're longer from bow to stern. So I'll show you the shape of them here in a minute. But if we compare gas turbine 2, which is 3,300 output and 100 efficiency, to boiler 2 for, I don't know, a battleship, see, the boiler has less output and no efficiency, which is why you need the turbines. But if we check the weight, and weight is important, especially at lower tiers, and even here where we are now at this point in the game, this is 100 tons with 2,200 output, and this, same tier, is 220 tons with 3,300 output. So it's 50% more output, but it's more than double the weight, which is kind of a problem. And it doesn't actually get you that much more. Now, if we pop over to the steam turbines here, let's look at steam turbine 2, because we're keeping with this tier 2 theme here. That's 28 efficiency. Now, you're going to end up with 4 steam turbines, probably, on a battleship. That's what you should strive for anyways, which is going to be over 100% efficiency. Should be 112 if my math is right. So there's that, and I guess by the time you combine a steam turbine and a boiler, tier 2, you get 220 tons anyways, less output and less efficiency. The thing is, the shape is really the big part, and I'll show you what I mean. Now, if you've been watching the other episodes, you know that when I design these ships, I get real crazy nitpicky about having boilers, like, in between the main guns, just to get as many boilers as I possibly can, as long as I have the weight to do it. And you can see that here. So if I press L1, I can get it to dim all the other stuff. And you can see I have boilers, like, in between the main guns, just barely. Now, if I remove everything, if I remove all of these engine parts, like so, and we go to power source, we can just go to standalone and gas turbines and ignore the terrible stats, because I don't have high tier gas turbines. So we're just going to use these ones because I have an infinite supply of them. You can see they're quite a bit longer from front to back, which proves to be a little bit of a problem. So if you remember this space here, we had 2 boilers. And right now, I'm looking at the top part of the diagram. You can tell it's bumped all the way up against the aftmost turret there, the number 6 turret that would be. And it still extends even farther into the number 5 turret. So this is roughly 3 boilers long, which is difficult for design purposes. Now, the upside is that you can go this way with them if you would like. So we can try to do 1, 2, 3, and then we can just keep moving right along here like this. And I'm not expecting much in the way of stats here, because these are low quality boilers, or I mean gas turbines. So And just for centering purposes, I would do something like this. But the length issue is really the main problem. They're longer than they are wide by quite a bit, and you know, the way I play spoilers and stuff, that just doesn't really work for me. The other issue with gas turbines, I can just no, don't accept those changes. Just abort design. The other problem with gas turbines is boilers and steam turbines, you can start researching as far as you want, as fast as you want, right from the start. There's no mission requirement, there's no, you know, you have to find one before you can continue researching it, none of that. So you can just go right down the line. Gas turbines, you have to get past a certain mission before you can actually start researching gas turbines, and I think you might even have to find one. That part I'm not sure about, but I know that you can't get them straight out of the gate, which is another issue. So that's why I don't really use gas turbines. Now, the same person also left a comment about the some of the weapons I use on my ship. And at the time when he left this comment, I did have one open weapon slot on the ship, and I don't anymore, but just to kind of show what he was trying to talk about, let's go ahead and remove these just for now. And he mentioned the idea of, well, we would need this slot in theory. He mentioned the idea of having some 15.5 centimeter guns on the side of the ship, like next to the main guns, and that sounds like a good idea in theory. The problem is they're kind of big, as you can see. They don't fit that well, and let's be more realistic. Let's just use 2 barrels, because it's not always about using as many barrels as possible. So let's still use high caliber. Let's go 2 barrels, and they fit better, but they still don't fit great, because like the actual kind of hitbox, you can see on both diagrams, it's not actually touching anything, but the hitbox of the main gun is, of the big gun there, is so huge that, whoops, didn't mean to do that, sorry. It just wouldn't get that close anyways. And the biggest issue with this is, in addition to the space that they take up, they also don't really do enough damage to be significant at this point in the game. And see, if I try to do anything like this, it's not gonna work, not gonna work, not gonna work, not gonna work. So, and the 15.5s, if you're curious why I'm using those are the biggest guns you can have that can be auto fire. So if we come back in here again, auto, 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 not auto. So these are the biggest guns you can have that can be put into an auto fire slot. And even with these guns, if you unselect them in the middle of a mission and go into engagement mode, they still won't fire if they are 20.3 centimeters or bigger. So you would have to use these or smaller. And even these ones, 75 cal and 4 barrels, don't really... They just don't do enough damage to be useful against ships or really much of anything. And he mentioned using them for shore installations, but I don't remember if it was that episode or the episode after where I actually was doing a mission and I pointed out that the high angles were actually clipping through the ground, through all the terrain to get buildings and stuff, which is a little bit cheaty. But even if they weren't, the high angles are significantly smaller. I'm pretty sure they're lighter, so hang on. We use 75 cal and 2 barrels, that's 32 tons. And if we go check out a... whoops. If this is only 20 tons. So 20 times 2 is actually 40. So they're slightly heavier, but they're way smaller. They can be placed on the side of the ship, and they fire way faster. Also, they have a lot more ammo as well. So they fire faster. They can go on the side of the ship. They're smaller, and they... Did I say fire faster or have more ammo? Basically, 4 positives there. And fifth one, if you don't mind being a little bit cheaty, they clip through the terrain. So there's that. And that's why I don't really use main guns on the small main cannons next to the big main cannons, because it's just not a very efficient use of space. The other thing he mentioned as far as weapons go are missiles. He mentioned, why aren't I using anti-ship missiles? And again, it's just a matter of like too much weight, too much space, not enough damage. The anti-ship missile VLS, and yes, this is only VLS 1, but it only goes up to VLS 3, so we're not missing much here. And, you know, VLS 3 would only be heavier. Same size, thankfully, but only be heavier, and it might only get... Assuming the damage goes, you know, doubles each time, or goes up by another 150 each time, VLS 3 would only be 450 damage, which, if we compare that to a main gun, if I can get out of there, if we compare that to a main gun, yeah. So, just not enough damage, and also, in one of the previous episodes, I think it was when I did Mission 570, so it might have been last episode, when I talked about how the anti-air missiles will just, like, keep firing a ridiculous amount of missiles all at the same target, even if it's more than you need to kill it, and they'll run out of ammo really fast that way. Well, the anti-ship missiles do that as well. Or maybe not these ones, but there are some anti-ship missiles, I thought, anyways, that are auto-fire. Maybe these ones aren't. I guess they're not. But, yeah, not enough damage. A little too heavy for the, you know, for the damage that they do. And you don't get a lot of ammo. They take a little bit to reload. I don't know. Just not terribly useful when you have main guns and when you could be using deck space for anti-sub or anti-air missiles. So that's my logic on all of that. Now, the last thing that the same guy commented about... Oh, not apply changes. Nope, abort. The last thing that the guy commented about was... What was... I gotta find his name. I can't just keep calling him the guy. That's not nice. RZ2501 Blaze. Yes, him. He has left a lot of comments, and I appreciate it, because I like questions and I like reading comments. Anyways, the other thing, the last thing he commented about was the AGS Guns, and I think I mentioned these quickly. I've looked into it a little bit more, and it turns out that the AGS Guns should be in either this category, the Rapid category, or the Prototype category. I'm not sure which one they show up in eventually, but either way, it's gonna be a while before we get them. Now, judging by the fact that I can tab over to this, like, third column here that isn't actually available in this category, and I can't do it here, I would assume that they show up in the Proto category. But the problem with the AGS guns is that while they are amazing, we can't use them. Not yet, anyways. We can't use them until the second playthrough. Because much like Auto Reload System 5, you have to find one before you can research them. And we're not going to be able to find any until EL2, which is the second playthrough. Which I will probably cover at some point, although probably not right away, because there are a lot of games I want to cover. A lot of PS2 games, some Xbox One games, because I'm really loving my Xbox One. I know it's been out forever, but I only got mine in October, so give me a break. But, yeah, so I have a lot of games I want to try and cover, and, you know, still limited recording time. It's actually, like, the middle of finals week right now for college, so I should probably be studying right now, but, yeah, recording's more fun. So, but yeah, the AGS guns, that's why we can't use them yet. Even if I got this as far down as I could get it, we would not have access to those until EL2. So, yeah. Hey, I just realized I have some new high angles I can do. Let's go ahead and get those right now. The ammo types here, they're useful, but, I mean, they're kind of expensive, especially when you could be focusing on, like, new hulls and stuff, which is definitely my priority. So, yeah. Now, I really want the 3 barrels for the 61cm guns, but if I had to guess, I would guess that I probably need this first, and then it will unlock the 3rd barrel availability. So, that's something to keep an eye on, I guess. But launchers, torpedoes, are we getting good torpedoes yet? Anti-mine torpedo, don't really. The other thing about torpedoes is you can't put them on a battleship, which is why after you move on from cruisers, torpedoes become almost useless, except for these category of torpedoes over here, because you can put them on submarines. So, explosive. I mean, mines, really, you don't need these that much. So, yeah, missiles. Here's the anti-ship missiles, and here are the anti-ship missile VLS. So, let's see. Oh, so it didn't even go up by 150, it just went up by 100. So, yeah. The weight stayed the same, but so did the ammo, and the reload time only gets higher. So at least the weight stays the same, but the ammo stays the same, the reload time actually gets slightly worse, the range gets slightly better, but the damage doesn't go up by much. So that's why I haven't been too worried about that. So, anti-sub missile 2. That's probably not VLS though. Yeah, that is absolutely massive. Cruise missiles are awesome, and I don't think we'll be putting them on our battleship, but we will absolutely put a couple of those on our aircraft carrier for when, you know, we do eventually use the aircraft carrier. I think I know what belongs in this slot here, and I think it is the RAM missile launcher, which is actually a treasure that I couldn't get because I didn't have what I needed to get it. I think I needed a helicopter, and I didn't have it. So I'm actually going to go ahead and pull up the pickups rewards list right now and go to 500 and whatever it was. And let's see. I'm trying to find it. Oh, which one was it? I know it was one of these. There it is, 510. The treasure is the RAM missile launcher. Now, if I open another tab and I go to the treasure locations and I go to 510, I'm pretty sure that was the Trollsegir laser battleship. Yeah, it was. And that's, yeah, it's a land base. So I need a helicopter for that. So, what I think I'm going to do for the rest of this episode is I will either redesign my aircraft carrier or redesign my battleship to accommodate a helipad. If it weren't a boss battle, I would just go ahead and take the carrier hands down, but since it's a boss battle, I'm a little more on edge about that. And so I think I'm just going to rearrange this. I'm definitely going to have to get rid of a main gun. There's no way around that if I want to put a helipad on here. So, yeah, there's no way around that, unfortunately. But we're going to remove these launchers and a main gun. So sad. But let's see if that's good enough. Wait, do I even have a helipad? I thought I got one. I do. Yeah. Heliport. So we want to make sure it's set. Oh, hey, well, that worked out pretty well. I like to move it as far back as it will let me, though. Can we lower this? Good. Can we lower... Whoops. Can we lower this? Good. Okay. So we only lost one main gun. That's not too bad. And now we have a heliport. So let's not forget to put a helicopter on it, because that's something I would do. Support helicopters are the ones that go and pick up stuff, and... Oh yeah, we got one of those as a treasure. And I'm pretty sure that this is the best type of helicopter in the game, or support helicopter in the game. It's the fastest. But we won't be able to research those for a little bit, I don't think. Even if we can research one right now, it's not at the top of my priority list, to be honest. But, yeah. So, I think that's all we needed to do. Let's see. I will go and get each treasure in 510 off camera, because I just looked at the time, and it's kind of a long episode. But long episode, you know what? Yeah, people said that they wanted long episodes, so we will leave it in, because, yeah, we'll leave it in. People said they wanted longer episodes, so I will give the people what they wish for. So 510 is the one where the treasure is, the whatsamajigget treasure that we want, the RAM missile launcher. And the reason I want the RAM missile launcher is because the RAM missile launcher does not do the thing that the regular missile launchers do, which is just to go crazy and fire, you know, hundreds of missiles at the same plane. This fire rate, man, with these main guns, this is stupid. Just being honest, this is ridiculous. So, what was I saying? Oh yeah, The RAM missile launchers don't do the same thing that the regular missile launchers do, because they are smart enough not to fire 1,000 missiles at one plane. So, yeah, that's why I'm going to be... That's why this is an important treasure to come back for. Also, I'm a little bit of a completionist, so I kind of want to get it. But yeah. What do we got? Repair kit. Alright, signal flare. And let's see. We're going to deal with the boss first. There he is. Hi. We're going to be cheap, and we've already seen this cutscene, so when it comes up I will skip it. We have seen it before. So, oh, there he is. Skip. Keep firing. And we're just going to stay over here. And, yep, now he's going to go ahead and explode and everything. And, well, he's dead. When you have 61cm guns at this point in the game, and you have auto-reload system 5 or better, it's kind of just a walk in the park, to be honest, but that's okay. So we're going to come over here and get this guy's stuff. We're going to leave engagement mode up, and we're going to make the ship look pretty with the main guns. There we go. And, what do we got? Ooh, lots of funds. I need those. Well, 2 funds. Okay, fine, but I'll take that. Sorry, clearing my throat again. Yeah, it's definitely allergy season, so... It's been a joyous week so far with all these wonderful allergies. So I might cut some of this out because this is a little tedious, but yeah, I'll see you guys over by the treasure. Let's do that. Okay guys, I can see the secret base from here. I'm gonna wait a minute to blow it up. But, yeah, there it is right in front of us. And as you can see, it is definitely a land base that we need a helicopter for. Which is why we put the heliport on the back. So we're gonna get a little closer here. Now we're gonna blast it. And we're gonna fix our guns so they look pretty. And then we're gonna go down here to the helicopters and launch the helicopters. And there goes the AS-332L and the UH-60J. And we can see that the AS-332L is much faster, and they are being shot at by some batteries, so I'm just going to move over here and deal with them. Come on, pick it up. Pick up the box. There we go. So we have our treasure now. And we're gonna kill this stuff because why not? And then there we go. Alright, we're done. Withdraw.
Mission complete. Now,
yes.
Let's leave the area.
Hooray! What do we get? Lots of good percentages and stuff. 56,000. Gas turbine 5. Cruiser boiler 3, gas turbine 4, battleship boiler 3, electric motor 3, RAM. There we go. Oh, what does RAM stand for? Not computer RAM. This RAM. We got some development complete. Okay, let's go to R&D, and let's see. Yeah, I rhymed. Sorry, I'm not funny. I know I'm not funny. You don't have to tell me. Artillery. What was I looking at? Anyways, oh, yeah, RAM. That's right. Duh. I'm so bad at this game. Ah, it's not there. Why isn't it there? No, it's not there yet. Do I need to upgrade my SAM launchers? What's going on? Oh, man. Alright, well, since we can't research those yet, for some reason, I want to research this and see if it opens up the 3 barrels for the 61cm. That's what I want to do. Anything else in the launchers that I really care about? No? High tech? I mean, okay, that's in progress. Oh, systems. I won't have enough money, but is it down here? Yeah, there it is. So we have 2 more auto reload systems to go. Beta and Gamma. Alpha, Beta, Gamma. Yeah, Gamma comes after that one. So we are almost there in terms of that. And while I'm thinking about it, let's go over to the helicopters. Oh, hey, look, we can get it right now. And we have the money, so yeah, sure, why not? And this is another support helicopter. Where's the other couple of support helicopters? Is this one, 150, 200, 450, so huge difference there. Yeah, we'll just go ahead and get both of them. Alright, that's it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the beginning of the episode where I addressed some comments. That was cool. There was another comment that got left about naming ships, and I'm sorry that I'm not very creative with names, but he did have a good idea. He wanted me to name a ship after him, and I'm totally fine with that, and it actually gave me an idea to name ships after like people who leave comments regularly and people whose comments I genuinely enjoy and or find helpful. So I haven't compiled a list of names that I'm going to do yet, but I will do that between this recording session and the next recording session, and we will start naming ships after commenters. So keep that in mind. If you leave a comment that I like, find helpful, or find helpful to others, or anything like that, I will try to include your name in into one of these ships. Notice that, or rather, please note that the room I have to work with for naming the ships is a little bit limited, so if I have to cut your name short or abbreviate it a little bit, that's why. So if I go to options, change name, let's see, I have 1, 2, no, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 18. I have 18 letters, I guess? 18 characters, that's the word. I have 18 characters I can play around with there. So, yeah, that's the thing. So, also, I just remember we were supposed to look at RAM. So if we go down to missiles, there it is, RAM. Let's check the description on it. For anti-air infrared homing missile available for auto-fire, it rolls in flight to provide stability, thus rolling airframe missile. I would not have guessed that. But yeah, this is the RAM, and you can see, if we go to place this, it is very, very small relative to, you know, missile launchers. This thing is incredibly tiny, but boy is it deadly, and I cannot wait until we can actually research them and have them all over the ship. So that'll be a thing. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next episode of Warship Gunner 2.